A perfect couple, a shocking betrayal, and a leaked scandal that shook social media. This is the downfall of Arai Chobanyan. After all these events, many began to ask, who is Arai Chobanyan? How did he end up at the center of such a major scandal, and why is his name now all over the headlines? To understand everything clearly, let's take a look at his background and learn more about the man whose betrayal became the main topic of public discussion. Arai Chobanyan first gained fame through his participation in the popular reality show Dom 2. Young, charismatic, and attractive, he quickly won over viewers who followed his journey on the show. He came across as a confident man who knew how to be charming and attract attention. His personality was vibrant and memorable, which gave him the chance to build a career in the media industry. After the show, he started actively developing his blog, working with brand partnerships and advertising. Naturally, his popularity continued to grow. But what especially drew attention was his relationship with Irina Pinchuk. A beautiful, successful couple, they looked like the perfect match out of a romantic movie. When they got married, many believed they were meant to be together for years to come. However, even the most beautiful appearances can be far from reality. Now, after several revelations, Arai's name is no longer associated with TV fame or a rising career, but with a scandal that has sparked massive public discussion. Why did this scandal cause such a stir? While stories like this aren't uncommon, this case touched on several sensitive issues. First, the betrayal occurred at a time when Irina was especially vulnerable, during her pregnancy. This sparked outrage among many people, especially women who could empathize with her situation. Second, the way the truth was revealed added to the shock. A hacker gained access to Chobanyan's social media account and exposed private messages. The content went public before he had a chance to respond or clarify, and suddenly everyone could see what had been happening behind the scenes of his seemingly perfect life. Third, instead of addressing the situation directly, Arai chose to present himself as a victim. He spoke about going through the hardest days of his life, but never offered a sincere apology or attempted to explain his actions. He also showed no willingness to take responsibility. So, what happens now? Their lives have changed forever. Irina Pinchuk firmly stated she no longer wants to be part of this drama. She ended the relationship decisively and is now focused on rebuilding her life. As for Arai Chobanyan, despite attempts to portray himself as misunderstood, he is now facing serious consequences. His reputation is damaged, public trust is lost, and his future in the media world is uncertain. This isn't just a story of personal betrayal. It's a powerful example of how quickly everything can fall apart when you take what you have for granted. Irina never played the victim. But she made it clear, there was no longer any room for lies in her life. So how did Arai Chobanyan behave in contrast to Irina's silence? At first, he remained quiet, seemingly hoping the scandal would blow over on its own. But once it became clear that this situation had gone far beyond a private matter, he appeared online, and his reaction surprised many. Instead of offering a sincere apology, taking responsibility, or attempting to make things right, he chose to portray himself as a victim. His statement felt more like an attempt to justify himself to his followers than to Irina. He said this week had been a nightmare for him, and that his life now felt like a drama series watched by thousands. But people weren't convinced. They weren't looking for pity, they were waiting for remorse and an honest explanation. Instead, all they saw was someone trying to avoid accountability. What are others saying? The situation sparked a wave of public discussion. Many celebrities, influencers, and acquaintances of the couple shared their opinions. Among them was Daria Pinzer, a well-known former participant of Dom 2 who is happily married and understands what it takes to build a strong relationship. She praised Irina's strength and self-control during such a difficult time, calling her behavior truly admirable. Daria also noted that Arai would likely regret his actions deeply, because betrayal during such a vulnerable period always carries consequences. What's next? Irina made it clear she has no intention of holding on to the past. Despite the pain, She's focused on her future, on her child and her career. She's moving forward with confidence and self-respect. Arai, on the other hand, is in a much more complicated position. His reputation has been seriously damaged, his audience feels let down, and public trust is broken. He's tried to defend himself, but so far, his words haven't been convincing. This story isn't over yet. A new chapter in each of their lives is just beginning. One thing is clear, everything has changed. Now, let's take a deeper look. Who exactly is Arai Chobanyan, and how did he become famous? Why has this scandal become such a big deal? After the public fallout and emotional breakup with Irina Pinchuk, Arai's name hasn't left the headlines. But who was he before all of this? How did he rise to fame, and why has this particular story grabbed so much attention? Let's break it down. Arai Chobanyan gained popularity through the reality show Dom 2. His vibrant personality and charisma quickly caught viewers' attention. Confident and engaging, he formed relationships, had conflicts, and remained a central figure on the show. After Dom 2, he began growing his personal brand, developing a blog, working with advertising partners, and collaborating with various brands. His social media following grew steadily, and his name became well known in the media space. However, the true peak of his popularity wasn't due to his content or professional projects, it came from his high-profile relationship with Irina Pinchuk. They looked like a picture-perfect couple, successful, attractive, and loved by fans. Their relationship didn't end with the show, it flourished. They got married, created content together, and appeared to be genuinely happy. Many people believed in their love story. But as it turns out, even the most beautiful images can hide painful realities. So why did this scandal cause such a reaction? This wasn't just another breakup, it touched on deeper, emotional themes that struck a chord with people. First, the betrayal happened during an extremely vulnerable moment. Even if the affair had been exposed under ordinary circumstances, it would have triggered outrage. But discovering this while Irina was hospitalized, fighting for her and her unborn child's health, made the situation truly heartbreaking. The public sympathy for Irina was intense, and Arai's actions were met with strong disapproval. Second, the way the truth came out was far from normal. This wasn't a simple rumor, it was exposed through a breach of his account, and what people saw were undeniable messages and proof. The dramatic nature of the reveal made the scandal even more intense. These weren't baseless accusations, these were shocking, explicit facts that couldn't be denied. Third, and perhaps most telling, was Arai's own reaction. When someone finds themselves in a crisis like this, they have two choices: take responsibility and try to make things right, or avoid accountability altogether. Arai chose the second path. His words about living through a nightmare and having the worst days of his life were seen not as regret, but as an attempt to gain sympathy. People didn't hear a sincere apology. They didn't see a man who regretted betraying his family, they saw someone who only regretted getting caught. Fourth, the blow to his reputation. For a public figure, reputation is everything. It takes years to build, but it can collapse in a single moment. Arai had spent a long time crafting an image, a caring husband, a devoted family man, someone who valued love and loyalty. That image brought him followers, brand deals, and opportunities. But now, everything has changed. People are disappointed. Followers are unsubscribing. Advertisers may reconsider whether it's worth partnering with him. His once curated social media, where he shared glimpses of a seemingly ideal life, has now become a space filled with controversy and backlash. What about Irina Pinchuk? Ironically, while this has been an emotionally painful ordeal for Irina, it could actually strengthen her position in the media world in the long run. She's received overwhelming support, from fans, peers, and celebrities. She presented herself with dignity and strength, never causing a scene, never trying to shift blame. She simply drew a line and walked away. As a result, public interest in her is only growing. Brands are now more likely to want to work with her. She's become a symbol of female resilience, not scandal. Her image now stands for calm strength, maturity, and self-respect. She's already made it clear, she's moving forward. She's inspired by new beginnings, and it seems she's not looking back. What's next? This story isn't over. There are still many questions left unanswered. Will Arai Chobanyan try to restore his reputation? Can he regain the trust of his audience, or is his career now in jeopardy? And how will Irina Pinchuk's journey unfold? Will she be able to fully close this chapter and emerge stronger than ever? One day, this may be remembered as one of those high-profile breakups that shook the internet. But right now, it's a real and unfolding story that thousands are watching closely. We'll keep you updated as the drama continues, because this story hasn't said its final word yet. This story reminds us that no matter how perfect something looks on the outside, true character is revealed in moments of crisis. Trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild, and in the digital age, the truth always finds a way out. They say you never truly know someone until they've been tested. And it's true, real character doesn't show when life is easy. It shows when everything falls apart. When things go wrong, when pressure builds, secrets come out, or mistakes are made, that's when the mask drops. That's when we find out who someone really is. Do they take responsibility, or do they blame others? Do they face the truth, or try to hide it? Do they grow stronger, or let the crisis break them? Moments of crisis are like mirrors. They don't create character, but they reveal it. Think about people who earn our respect, it's rarely because they were perfect. It's because they were honest. They owned their failures. They stood tall when it would have been easier to run. In today's story, we saw a clear example. One person tried to avoid responsibility, while the other chose dignity, even through pain. And the world noticed. Because in the end, people don't just remember what happened, they remember how you handled it. So here's the lesson: when you're tested, when things go wrong, don't just react. Reflect. Stay honest. Stay accountable. Because those moments can either destroy your reputation, or build a legacy of strength and respect. Crisis doesn't define you, your response does. This video is for informational purposes only and is based on publicly available sources. We do not intend to defame or harm anyone's reputation.